You don't have to put that on. Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 4 of our Winning Mindset Success Series. I'm telling you right now that I have had so much fun this week. And, you know, when you find something that's great and fun and awesome, you just want to keep doing it. And I'm telling you, I just want to keep doing this again and again and again. And those people that know me know I seriously am like that. That's why I work out every day. That's why I try to eat right every day. That's why I associate myself with great people. Because when you find something positive, great, and wonderful that works, you just want to stick with it, honestly. So I have had such an incredible week. And what's made this week to me even more incredible is all the feedback that I've received from people, the experience that we've had connecting with these incredible guests, and really the learning that I've had during the last week. And I'll be honest with you, just about everything we've covered, we know, we've heard before, but there comes a point in our lives when we take information that we've heard and that we've read, and then we apply it in a deeper way. We actually implement it into our lives, and we change, and we become a better person. I was on a radio program this Monday, and the radio host, which is the guest that is scheduled to be on our show today, he said he had somebody in, and we always say new year, new you. He said he had a guest in recently. Instead of saying new year, new you, she said new year, better you. And I loved that, because that goes right along with the mantra, the 2 mantras that I have personally for this year, which is play big and play bigger, which remember what play bigger means. Play bigger means it doesn't matter where you are in your life. It doesn't matter if you barely woke up this morning. It doesn't matter if you're listening to this on recording. It doesn't matter if you're at a very low point in your life where you're having trouble getting out of bed in the morning. It doesn't matter if you're the most successful person in the world. It doesn't matter if you're going through a divorce. It doesn't matter if you're recently married. It doesn't matter where you are. We can all play bigger in life. That's mantra number 1 for 2017 for me. And mantra number 2 is come ready to receive, and you'll leave ready to achieve. And what I mean by that is, if we truly are ready to receive things in our life, if we're ready to receive greatness, if we're ready to receive instruction, if we're ready to receive love, if we're ready to receive success, then we're going to achieve it. But here is the key word, ready. You have to be ready. And one of the things that you have to do, if not the most important thing, is to master that winning mindset. And that's one of the reasons we started 2017 with this topic, master the winning mindset. We talked about on Monday how you have to make a decision to win. You've got to decide to succeed, whatever it is in life. You've got to surround yourself with talent, because you are the sum of the 5 people that you associate with the most. And whether you believe it or not, you're just not going to be able to achieve and succeed if you're not surrounding yourself with the talent that you need. And Mama Shu did a phenomenal job yesterday talking about having faith. You've got to have faith. It doesn't matter, again, the circumstances that you're in. It doesn't matter your perception of your abilities. But we heard on Monday from Charles Austin how he said he didn't even know he could do what he did until he tried. So just knowing and having faith that if you're doing the right things if you are preparing yourself and we're in constant preparation of what we're supposed to do, you're on the right track. And our topic today is filling your brain with goodness. You know, filling your brain with goodness means reading anything and everything that has a good, positive message. And that's magazines, that's good books, that's blogs, that's quotes, pouring positive messages into your brain every day, whether that's writing and reading your personal affirmations, which is a must. You know, when Napoleon Hill studied the 200 most successful people in history, that was one of the things that all 200 people did, was they had written positive personal and professional affirmations, and they read them out loud a minimum of twice a day, all 200 of those people. Now, what is that called? That is called a clue. That is called a clue, ladies and gentlemen. It is called a clue. So that means we have to be doing the exact same thing. And then another thing that I love is watching and listening inspirational messages. Now, I run 6 days a week, and a lot of those 6 days of the week, I'm listening to uplifting inspirational videos. And I will listen to them over and over and over and over again, because I know the more I listen and the more those positive messages just resonate and sit in my brain and simmer, I know that that's going to get into that subconscious mind, and I know it's going to help make me a better person. And it's also going to help and allow me to produce more goodness. So I will tell you, you know, one of my favorite quotes, fill your brain with giant dreams, so it has no space for petty pursuits. I mean, let's just think about that for a second. Fill your brain with giant dreams. So that means your brain is filled with so many big, huge, enormous dreams that there's no space in your brain for anything petty. And let's talk about what's petty. What's petty is gossip. What's petty is worry. What's petty is doubt. What's petty is thinking about all the reasons why you can't do something, those excuses. You know, people either focus on purpose and passion, or they focus on problems. It just is. It just is. Are you focusing on purpose and passion? What is your purpose and what are your passions? Is that what you're focused on? Or are you focused on your problems? You know, listen, people can either make excuses or they can make money, but you can't do both. I mean, you know, that's a fact. So if we fill our brain with giant dreams, then all the petty stuff is going to go to the wayside, which is, it's just a fact. Try it, test it, okay? Now, I am so super excited. Now, and I want everybody to know, you know, in the journey of life, we rise together. You know, get on your social media and tweet this and Instagram this, our calls to action, our guests, what we're doing, our purpose, our journey, our goals, because playing bigger, remember, means we pulled people together. And I'm going to tell you somebody that I met a few years ago at the International Day of Happiness. And this guy, he is a TV, radio personality. He's in the entertainment industry. Everything he touches, he gives his all to, and he is the epitome of filling your brain with goodness. He repels negativity. He repels anything bad that can pull him down, but he also helps. And this guy's become a great friend of mine. I just love him dearly. He's on the line. Brian Glenn, please, we're so happy to have you. Please share with us a little bit about your journey in life and how you have learned filling your brain with goodness is critical in mastering the winning mindset. Take it away.
Yeah. Good morning, Jens. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we got you.
Wonderful, because I'm at the Kay Bailey Hutchison Convention Center this morning as I was covering this Franchise Expo South that's going on here. So the Wi-Fi was a little sketchy, but I'm glad to jump on with you guys this morning. No, that's a great build-up. I mean, what can I say? I don't know if I can follow your build-up, to be honest with you, but it's, you know, you and I do have a relationship that we formed a couple years ago, and what a great day for us to form that relationship on, because of the name of the day, right? We're both two incredibly happy people. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I've had any success in my career, is because I choose to be happy. Here's the thing. I think the idea of choosing to be happy is it's a decision that you make. You can either walk around and tell yourself, remind yourself on a daily basis how bad things are for you and how you just didn't catch that break, and maybe the job promotion didn't go well, or maybe a spouse is not treating you the way you want to be treated, or just business is not going well. Why aren't people buying from you? You're in sales. Like why? You know, you can choose to have that mindset, or you can choose to change it. I'll back up real quickly. I got in television in 1988, and my first job, honestly, was getting into a Peacock outfit for an NBC affiliate for the great Merv Griffin, the TV mogul, was coming to town. They're like, hey, we need a guy to put on this outfit. And nobody wanted to do it because it was, to be honest with you, it's quite embarrassing. It was very tight. And it just, you know, I was a little self-conscious, you know, of putting on some tights that were just like, you know, Spanx for men, I guess, back in the day. But I put it on, and I you know, I said, okay, I'll do it. So I did that. And what that taught me from day one is to be willing to do something that nobody else wanted to do. And you know what? And when I did that, the GM of that TV station, when it was all said and done, came up to me and said, hey, man, you know what? I appreciate you taking one for the team, because we know that's not necessarily a most glamorous thing to do, is to do that suit. But nevertheless, we're so glad that you did. So that kind of kicked off my television career. And I've been told my entire career that I'm going to move around a little bit because of the noise here. I was told that I was stupid. I was told that I had no talent. I was told that this is never going to work. All of your ideas are never going to work. I was told all of that. And basically at this point, I chose to ignore those. Can you still hear me okay, Jens?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I chose to ignore all of those words from people that essentially were supposedly my coworkers. They were supposedly my friends, supposedly people in my industry that, you know, I expect to get support from you. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't the case. And so I really learned early on in life, and that no matter what you do, you've got to be your biggest fan. You've got to be your biggest cheerleader, and you've got to stay happy, because trust me, there's enough people in this world that want to bring you down on every level, from your personal life to your business. And so you have to be your number one fan and stay happy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that piece of advice, because we do have to be our biggest fans. It always starts with us. And, you know, the thing that I think is vitally important is along the way, when everybody that you were coming in contact with, obviously not every person, but you had a lot of people that you were coming in contact with that was telling you, you're no good, you don't have talent, you know, your ideas aren't going to work, all this other stuff. You chose to fill your brain with another mindset, which was goodness. And I am going to succeed. I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. It doesn't matter. Along your journey, I mean, what are some of the things that you did that you stuck in your brain, feeding it with goodness?
Well, it all kind of starts for me. And let's just be honest. It starts with faith. You got to have faith. You got to have faith. I'm a Christian. I'm a devout Christian, and I don't have no problem telling people on social media that I'm a Christian and I believe in God and I pray. And I think that's the fundamental of all of this, really, is that we all have a serving in life. We all have a purpose. And so I knew my journey, and I was a little different. I dressed different. My style was different. My hair was crazy and messed up. And I did that on purpose, though. And I don't mind sharing this with you. I purposely have kept my style the same over the years, because in the entertainment industry and television news and all this garbage that I work in, this pile of garbage, as Donald Trump's word said, you have to find a way to stand out and to be recognized and people to remember you. So that's why I was a little different. But it goes back to this. When people tell you, man, your ideas are horrible, it's never going to work, I literally knew in the back of my mind that there was a greater purpose for all of this. And there was the journey was better than I could ever imagine. So I didn't care. Like the people on the sidelines telling me this, it didn't matter to me because I knew there was a higher calling to all of this. So that was a secret. I just ignored the haters in life and the people that were not happy. I chose to be happy, and I knew it was a greater plan in life. It was a God plan.
Right. And, and this is so important, I think. What Brian just said hit the source of what he fills his brain with goodness is his relationship with his faith. And that's so vitally important because, I have met so many people in my life, and myself included, and people will say, gosh, how are you so strong? What are you putting in your brain? And it starts with faith. I'm the exact same way. If you know that you were created and that just for the sheer fact that you were created divinely, you are special, right, and you have a purpose. And filling your brain with all that goodness, it really does keep you grounded. But another thing that
absolutely,
I think another thing that's really, I've just got to say, and I'm sure you know this, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, but maybe not everybody. Kevin Hart, who is the most successful comedian of all times now, it took him 19 years to achieve that level of success. And when he got to Hollywood, they told him, you're not funny, you look weird, you're dumb, your ideas won't work, nobody likes you.
Believe it or not, they told him he's too short. And that was amazing to me because he is he's not very tall. And I think to criticize a comedian for his height is like, even your skin color, because to this day, let's be honest, I mean, there's a lot of discrimination in Hollywood based on race. And so, you're absolutely right.
No, they said he didn't have the it factor. They just kept saying that. But just like you just said, you believe differently. You have to be your biggest fan. And, I think I think it's important too, and I say this all the time, is what we don't realize. And one of the reasons why in 2017 we're playing bigger, and one of the ways we're playing bigger is every 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to do some type of free online series where we highlight people that have been successful, because it's vitally important that we see people's examples. There's going to be people that are listening live and that are going to be listening to the recording, and they're in a place where they don't have examples. So number one, you got to surround yourself with some talent so you see examples. But number two, you've got to be the example. So in your life, Brian, who have been some of the examples that you've seen that has kept you on the right path?
Well, I tell you what, for me personally, it was one of the first general managers that ever gave me a job in television. And he gave me a break. And so to this day, I'm always very grateful for this guy, and I keep up with him all the time. But, I look at people, I look at friends, I don't look at celebrities. I don't look at Hollywood. I don't look at any of that and take any inspiration in any of that. I really don't. I just don't. Mm-hmm. It's people, it's friends, it's business owners, it's businesses, it's corporations that I know that started very small. Matter of fact, being here at this franchise expo, walking around hearing the stories how people started in the garage. And they knew they had a great idea. And next thing you know, well, they've got a national franchise. So it's the neighbor, it's your friend, but it's people in your industry. I had a good friend. I will say this, probably my parents, I would probably say were my number one cheerleaders in life that I look to. No matter what happened, and I played competitive tennis my entire life since I could crawl. No matter if I got blown out in a match, they were the first ones to come up and say, well, you looked good on court. Your tennis shoes were nice and your shorts looked nice. I mean, it was always something positive about it. I mean, literally, and I would drive 800 miles for a tournament. I mean, 800 miles one way and get just blown out first round. And I should have probably went to at least the semis and the quarters. And they would say, all right, well, that was fun, wasn't it? So it was always keeping a positive attitude no matter what happens in life. And let me tell you something, man. I expect to fail every single day. I really do. Because I know that you cannot bat 1,000. You just can't. Like, I'll give you a great example. Yesterday, I had 3 fantastic breakthroughs in my career that I've been waiting to happen. Now, I knew days building up to that every day that I may not be that successful. I just know that's one day closer to a very successful day. So we all have to keep that in mind. You may be having a bad day now, okay, and you may fail tomorrow. But the next day could be the day that you break through. And I think we all just need to stay positive and focused on, look, no one's perfect. You're not always going to have a perfect day. And here's another thing, Jens, not everyone's always going to agree with you. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay if they don't.
I know. I love it when you say, I expect to fail every day, because, I fly by the seat of my pants. And I think the same way. I think I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. But I expect it, and I'm okay with it. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. But what I say is, at least I'm flying. I'm flying. I mean, I could be on the ground, not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's so important that people realize we're going to fail. But during that, we're going to learn, and we're going to grow, and we're going to get better. But one of the things I say all the time is, I love comebacks, because when you come back bigger and better and stronger. And that's what life is all about. Don't be afraid to fail. But, the thing that I think, another thing that I love about you is, the goodness that you fill your brain with is real. Like you said, you don't look at celebrities. You fill your brain with real goodness. And real goodness comes from your faith. Real goodness
Yes.
comes from your parents. Real goodness comes from everyday people that are working hard, that have sacrificed, that have fallen and have gotten up, and are giving us real examples. I think it's very important.
Yes.
People realize the celebrity, the pomp and circumstance, the glitz and glamour, that's not real. We've got to be
That's not real.
And,
But I think you do have to look at people in certain industries, though. I'll give you a great example. Ryan Seacrest, when I was in California back in the late 90s, he was just on the radio, Star 98.7. It's an adult contemporary station. That's what he did. The next thing you know, this gentleman is branching out to a little known show called American Idol. I was like, oh, what's this American Idol thing? Next thing you know, that takes off. Then he branches out to produce shows. That takes off. Now he branches out and has his own, obviously has his own production company for a number of years. So what I'm getting to is this. Look at people in your industry and follow their career. And you'll see that they didn't just wake up one day and be hosting the New Year's Eve, Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Ball. They didn't just wake up to be a producer for the Kardashians. They worked just as hard as you and I, and there's no reason why in the world that you cannot achieve success just like they did. And and maybe it's not the pinnacle. Maybe you're, you know what? Maybe your goal is not to be as large as they are, but you at least want to have the winning stories like they did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On the screen right now, we put our call to action for today. And our call to action for today, so you're going to screenshot this and you're going to put on your social media, my first step will be. What is your first step going to be in your journey? Is it going to be the first step in a personal journey, a professional journey? Is it going to be a first step in some passion, a legacy that you want to start? What is your first step going to be? And the reason we have call to actions on a daily basis is because we don't want people just to to fill their brains with goodness and then go about their day. We want everybody to fill their brains with goodness and then inspire you to action, because it's when we do. I say all the time, success happens in action. You don't succeed just sitting. You've got to do. And that's one of the things about is, playing bigger does is you've got to do. So, we definitely want each and every one listening to connect with me, to connect with Brian, to connect with other great people, because it's vitally important who we surround ourselves with. These are the people and the examples that we need in our life to succeed and to get better and to be happy. And in parting, Brian, what parting advice can you give? I know you've given a lot of golden nuggets here, but that you want to just close up the show with. I'm going to give you our parting words for the day.
I think the parting words for today should be write down what you want to achieve by the end of this month. Let's just take baby steps. A lot of times people write down a goal and they get discouraged if they don't get to it, at the end of the month. Well, let's just be realistic. So my parting shot is this: whatever you want to accomplish in your life, let's take baby steps. So write down by February 1st, I want to have this done. It could be the most simplest thing. If you're in sales, it could be, I want to make 5 more contacts, or I want to make 5 more new sales calls, or whatever the case may be. Write it down and make baby goals. And once you start getting all those small goals achieved, the bigger ones will come.
I love it. I love it. Well, Brian, I know you're super busy. I love it that you walked out of the convention center for us to jump on this. I can't thank you enough. And I think that's great advice. We all need to write down those goals, the little baby steps, and together let's come together and share and speak out loud what we're going to do this year in 2017 to play bigger. Tomorrow, we got Byron Williams, who is the president of the NFL Players Association, that will be here with us. And our topic for Mastering the Winning Mindset tomorrow is going to be never quit. You've got to have that grit and never quit. So with that, until we see you again tomorrow, be big, be bold, and most importantly, be you. Thanks so much, Ryan, and thank you to everybody else. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, man.